प्यारे बाबा मीठे बाबा, प्यारे बाबा मीठे बाबा, एक तू ही तो है बस हमारा, तुझसे रोशन है सबका सितारा, एक तू ही तो बस है किनारा। प्यारे बाबा मीठे बाबा, प्यारे बाबा मीठे बाबा। मन में जो भाव तेरे लिए है, खुश हो के पुण्य किए हैं। मन में जो भाव तेरे लिए है, खुश हो के पुण्य किए हैं। तेरी बताई राहों को चुनकर खुशियों से वादे किए हैं। मैंने जो चाहा मिला है, अरमानों का गुल खिला है। जानता हूँ तू चाहे मुझको, दुआओं में रखना तू सबको, मुझको तो है तेरा सहारा। प्यारे बाबा मीठे बाबा, प्यारे बाबा मीठे बाबा। चारों तरफ है तेरा उजाला, तुझसे न दूर कोई है। चारों तरफ है तेरा उजाला, तुझसे न दूर कोई है। रिश्ता जो तुझसे अनमोल मेरा, तू ही तो मेरा कोई है। साथ तेरा हर पल मिले तो, मुझको है तुमसे प्यार बाबा। दिल में मेरे सदा रहने वाले, प्यार से मैंने तुझको पुकारा। ज्ञान का खोल दो तुम पिटारा। प्यारे बाबा मीठे बाबा, एक तू ही तो है बस हमारा, तुझसे रोशन है सबका सितारा। एक तू ही तो बस है किनारा।
प्यारे बाबा मीठे बाबा, प्यारे बाबा मीठे बाबा,
प्यारे बाबा मीठे
The Om Shanti and good morning. So how wonderful this system is Baba has created for us. When we wake up in the morning, first thing we do is we connect with ourselves. We engage with the self, the true self. Then we engage with the source. Then we engage with the world. And it's like a formula to reboot or reset the soul. And I like to make a little symbol with the fingers. When you wake up, first this finger, first let me engage with my true self. Let me remind myself I'm a soul, I'm a spiritual energy, my nature is peace, my home is the soul world, an actor on this stage. So becoming aware of self. And the second finger, then let me engage with the source. And remember, I am a child of the ocean of peace, the ocean of love. So remembering the child and parent connection. And only then comes then the third finger, which then relating to other people, situations, roles, responsibilities of the day. And of course, what happens in the Lokik world is people forget the first two. They wake up in the morning, they immediately engage with the world. So the foundation of their day is missing. Because of that, then there is no power to maintain the happiness as they pass through the day. Little things upset them, they lose their temper, they get disheartened. And that's maybe the way we used to live as well. But then Baba now redresses that imbalance and teaches us how to live basically. Know yourself, know the source, then life seems like a game. First the journey inward, then the journey upward, then the journey outward. And if you think about the state of the world today, for me it just seems this is the way to live. This is the way to start. We have to be quiet, sit silently. We have to remind ourselves who we are. It's just so clear when you hear what's happening in the world. Where is the problem? It's not the environment. It's not the economy. It's not all the things we hear about. It's the humans. Humans need to be fixed. And so we are fortunate that we know the source himself has come. He's showing us the way back, the return journey back to dignity, back to balance, back to emerging our divinity. So wherever I go to different Baba's places, it's not just an honor, it's a real privilege to be in the gathering of yogis. Which means especially in the morning class, those who are living the Brahmin life. Be in the atmosphere and gathering of yogi souls. It's a real honor. It helps you, enables you to see things in yourself. It enables you to emerge your own divinity. How precious it is to be amongst those who are living the life of soul consciousness. So just to share some news, I was sharing with the brothers earlier that one of the old Madhuban Nivasis, someone who was a friend of mine for many years. Maybe some of you know Subhash Rai Gyan Sarovar. You know him? Hmm? Yeah, you must have seen him. He was everywhere in Gyan Sarovar, and his duty was in the VIP dining area in Gyan Sarovars. And he was quite young. He left the body yesterday, the night before, night of 23rd, I think. So I think he must have been in his 50s or so. An ever-present figure in Madhuban. I remember him since early 80s. So it was, you expect dadis at some point to leave due to the old age. Someone who was fairly young in age. And it just reminded me of a few years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, I was in London. I was in the morning class, and one sister was reading the Murli. And the brother who was sitting in front of me, literally just the next row in front of me, he left the body. It seemed to me right there and then. Officially, after 2 days in the hospital, he left the body, but he was somebody who was so healthy, and you'd never hear him speaking unless he was talking to you. And you never hear him speaking to somebody else. He was so soft spoken. And I was the nearest to him, and I remember the expression on his face as the soul seemed to leave the body. He was placed on the floor, and paramedics came. But the thought came to my mind, and this is why I share the story. I wasn't consciously thinking, but just the thought came from the subconscious that everyone's time comes one day. And one day my time will come as well. And what would my thoughts be at that moment? So for me, the thoughts I would have is, how much happiness did I give to others in my life? How much love did I share with others? How many smiles did I create? These are the kinds of questions that would come as a criteria to check, how did I spend my time? Because a person is remembered for the actions they do in life. And not just the big major things, but in everyday life, everyday interactions. Did I give happiness? Or even was I just neutral and I had, an okay relationship with others? Baba says for us, an ordinary day is not good enough. For children, those who are the children of the bestower of happiness, don't just think I didn't give sorrow. Those are the standards for somebody who's a very ordinary soul. To not give sorrow and be happy with that, kind of like kindergarten spirituality. But for us, Baba checks in your interactions, did you give happiness? You were the child of the, Sukhdata, the bestower of happiness. Then little interactions, through my attitude, did I inspire others? Did I lift up the spirits of others? Was I able to share some vibrations of respect and dignity? Those are the things which accumulate in the soul towards your final account. So when these situations happen, then on the one hand, it takes us into Behad Virag. It takes us into unlimited disinterest. Disinterest from little issues, mostly I and my related issues, which are the biggest drain of the soul energy, I and mine related issues. Behad Virag takes us into the unlimited disinterest, and also reminds us of the basics. Why am I a Brahmin? What's my aim? Where am I going? Where am I at? How am I doing? Checking those basic things to recalibrate myself, just to review how I'm spending my time, my thoughts, my energy, so that I can refine it and use it in a more productive manner. So Baba Sakar Murli for today, sweet children, make a great deal of effort to remember the Father, because you have to become real gold. Question: what are the signs of good effort makers? The answer: those who are true effort makers, they follow Srimad at every step. Those who constantly follow Srimad are the ones who claim a high status. Why does Baba tell you, children, to follow Srimad constantly? Because he is the true beloved, the rest are his lovers. Om Shanti. Both old and new children have understood the meaning of Om Shanti. You children have come to know all of us souls are children of the Supreme Soul. Supreme Soul is the highest on high and the beloved who is loved by all. The significance of Jnana and Bhakti has been explained to you children. Gyan means the day, the golden and silver ages. Bhakti means the night, the copper and iron ages. This applies to Bharat. You do not have that much connection with other religions. You're the ones who experience 84 births. It is you, people of Bharat, who come first. The cycle of 84 births is for you, people of Bharat. No one can say that those of the Islamic or Buddhist religion take 84 births. No. It is only the people of Bharat who take 84 births. Bharat is an imperishable land. It is never destroyed, whereas all other lands are destroyed. Bharat is the highest on high land. It is imperishable. It has been explained to you children, in the new world of heaven, in the golden age, only Bharat existed. It was Bharat that was called heaven. They take 84 births. Finally, all become the residents of hell, and those same people of Bharat then become the residents of heaven. At this time, all are residents of hell. Later, all other lands will be destroyed. Only Bharat will remain. There is limitless praise of the land of Bharat. In the same way, the praise of the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, and the praise of the Gita are also limitless, but only that of the real Gita. The Father is now teaching you Raj Yoga. This is the most auspicious confluence age of the Gita. Bharat will then become the most elevated of all. That original deity religion does not exist now. That kingdom does not exist now. That age does not exist now. Baba has explained the mistake of putting Krishna's name in the Gita is fixed in the drama. When the path of bhakti begins, there will first be the Gita. The Gita and all the scriptures are now to be destroyed. Just think, who could say these things? Who could have the nerve, the audacity to say such thing? Must be some higher intelligence. Gita and all scriptures are now to be destroyed. Only the deity religion will remain. It is not that the Gita, the Bhagavad, etc. will remain with it. No. You received the reward, you received salvation, and so there is no need for scriptures. There are no gurus or scriptures in the golden age. At this time, there are innumerable gurus who teach bhakti. There is only one spiritual father whose praise is limitless, who grants you salvation. He is called the World Almighty Authority. It is mostly the residents of Bharat who make the mistake of saying that he is Antaryami, that he knows what is inside everyone. The father says, children, I don't know what is going on inside everyone. My duty is to purify the impure. I am not Antaryami. What do you think about that? He knows everything. He's the seed of the tree. But partly, remember Dadi was Yes, yes. So Dadi was saying he wants to remove this bhakti belief, God knows everything anyway. He would want us to be honest, to speak through the mouth about our actions, our behavior. Because the act of expressing what is inside you is a very powerful act, especially if you have done something not so good. And Baba says, as you know, that if you speak the truth, half the account, half the punishment is finished. Half. I mean, that's something. It means that honesty is such a powerful thing that it removes half your punishment. What if you tell Baba twice? Whole thing finished? But being honest with the self is the beginning of genuine spiritual progress. Being honest with the self. It's a subject to look at. Being honest with God is something else. Being honest with others is something else. That's why it is said that cleanliness is next to godliness. Very powerful thing. Plus, Baba has declared the Lord is pleased with an honest heart. Sache dil pe sahab razi. I mean, to please God is a big issue. And He has given us the formula. So to really have an honest heart must be a big thing. Go deep inside the soul and uncover whatever is there. So Baba has revealed to us how to be close to Him. He says, my duty is to purify the impure. I am not antaryami. This false praise is given on the path of devotion. I am called into the impure world. I only come once when the old world has to be made new. Human beings don't know that this world becomes old from new, and from old, it then becomes new. Everything passes through the stages of Sato, Rajo, Tamo. It's another big secret of the cycle. Something people don't understand how entropy works. I was describing entropy. Everything goes from Sato, Rajo, to Tamo, including the human consciousness. Human beings are the same. First, they are Sato Pradhan children. Then they go through the stages of adolescence and old age. That is, they go through the Rajo and Tamo stages. When their bodies become old, they shed them and they become children. The world also changes from new to old. You children know Bharat was very elevated in the new world. The praise of Bharat is limitless. There are no other lands as wealthy, happy, or pure as Bharat was. The Sato Pradhan world is now being established. Big secret. No government leader will tell you this. Baba reveals the news. The golden aged world is currently under construction. Baba has assembled a global construction team. Here is Sri Lanka department, Kandy department of the global team. It's here. What are we doing? We're constructing a new world. Brahma, Vishnu, Shankar have been shown in the picture of the Trimurti, but no one understands the meaning of that. In fact, Trimurti Shiva, not Trimurti Brahma, should be said. Who created Brahma, Vishnu, Shankar? It was Shiv Baba, the highest on high. It is said, salutations to the deity Brahma, salutations to the deity Vishnu, salutations to deity Shankar, and salutations to the Supreme Soul, Shiva. Therefore, he is the highest of all. He is the creator. It is sung, the Supreme Father, Supreme Soul, creates Brahmins, true Brahma. They also receive their inheritance from the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. He himself sits here and teaches Brahmins because he is the Father as well as the Supreme Teacher. He sits here and explains how the cycle of the history and geography of the world turns. He alone is the knowledgeful one. It is not that he is Jani Jananhar. That too is a mistake. On the path of devotion, no one knows his occupation or his biography. That is like the worship of dolls. In Calcutta, there is so much worship of those dolls. They worship them, they feed them, then they sink them into the sea. Shiv Baba is the most beloved. The Father says they also create an image of me out of clay. They worship it and then they break it up. They make it in the morning and break it in the evening. All of that is the path of bhakti. the worship of blind faith. Human beings sing, "You are worthy of worship. You are a worshipper." However, the Father says, "I am ever worthy of worship. I simply come and make impure ones pure. I give you your fortune of a kingdom for 21 births. On the path of bhakti, there is temporary happiness." Sannyasis say, happiness is like the droppings of a crow. Sannyasis renounce their homes, their families. That is limited renunciation. They are hatha yogis. They don't even know God. They remember the Brahm element. The Brahm element is not God. There is only one incorporeal, God Shiva, who is the father of all souls. The Brahm element is the place where we souls reside. Brahman is the sweet home. Why sweet? Why is home always called sweet? Hmm? Silence, okay. Okay, yeah, right. And you said something, Baiji? Pure? Yes, but even in the Lokik world, it's home sweet home, they say, no? Why is it why home is sweet? They give you sweets. Love is there, sense of hmm? But sense of belonging is there, no? That's important. Where you belong. You know, you may, for example, you may go somewhere, you may stay in a luxury resort, 5-star resort. It's very comfortable, all the facilities are there. When you go home, home, sweet home. You know, it's where you belong, your vibrations are there, sense of safety is there, familiarity, you know where everything is. You feel at rest. You can be yourself. When you sleep in your own bed, I belong here. It's a sweet home, the place where we came from, which we have forgotten. And it's kind of a shock for people to realize this world is not a home. This earth is a stage. So interesting, actors came onto a stage. They stayed so long, they began to think the stage is the home. And God has to come and knock on our intellects and say, excuse me, this is not a home. This is a stage. You say, really? Yeah, your home is there. It changes everything. So that, like yesterday, you talked about the guest consciousness. So all of these consciousnesses are designed to enable us to most easily break our attachments to the temporary. Hence it is sometimes said, you should die before you die. Means whatever does not belong here has to come out before the time of departure from the body. And so when we work on overcoming the attachments, when the time of departure comes, it's like the hair passing through melted butter, as Baba says. So we're going to the sweet home. We souls come from there to play our parts. The soul says, I leave a body and I take another. It is the residents of Bharat who take 84 births. Those who have done the most bhakti will also take the most knowledge. The secret. Why some souls don't take knowledge? We can't force it in them. Naturally, souls will have an affinity to take knowledge according to how long they've been around and how much bhakti they have done. The father says, children, stay in your households, but follow Srimad. All of you souls are lovers of the one beloved, the Supreme Soul. You have continued to remember him since the Copper Age. Souls remember the Father at times of sorrow. This is the land of sorrow. Souls are originally residents of the land of peace. Then they enter the land of happiness and they take 84 births. The meaning of hum so, so hum has also been explained. They say each soul is the Supreme Soul and the Supreme Soul is each soul. Baba now says, how can souls be the Supreme Soul? There is only one Supreme Soul, the rest are his children. Even sages and holy men, they give a wrong meaning for Hamso. The Father has now explained the meaning of Hamso. We souls were deities in the Golden Age, then we became warriors, merchants, Shudras. Now we have become Brahmins in order to become deities. Brahmin life is like a big washing machine. You go from Shudra to deity. And so what happens in a washing machine? Yeah, cold rains, hot rains, fast spin, all these things happen, no? To bring out the dirt which is in the soul. So it's supposed to be like that, you know? Yeah, that's right. You get thrown around, you get boiling water on you, you get cold water on you, fast spin, slow spin. Because some weaknesses in the soul are on the surface. Some are a little deep, and some are very deep. But really, to remove the deep down ones, you need a strong detergent. But the whole process is needed for full cleansing to happen. So this is the accurate meaning. They are totally wrong. The Father says, by following the dictates of Ravan, human beings have become so false. This is why it is said, Jhuti Maya, Jhuti Kaya, Jhutha Sab Sansar. You understand, no? No. Really? Maya is false, the body is false, the world is false. Repeat. Jhuti Maya, Jhuti Kaya, Jhutha Sab Sansar. Today, everything is false. Food is false, bodies are false. I mean, in everything there is some falsehood. He will not say this in the Golden Age. That is the land of truth. There is no trace or sign of anything false there. Here, there is no trace of truth. If there is some truth, it's like a pinch of salt in a sack of flour. Human beings with divine virtues exist in the Golden Age. Theirs is the deity religion. All other religions come later on. Then there is duality. Dwapar operates, Dwapar Yuga literally means the age of duality. The devilish kingdom of Ravan begins in the Copper Age. The kingdom of Ravan does not exist in the Golden Age. None of the five vices exist there, and so they are completely viceless. Ram and Sita are called 14 degrees full. No one knows why Ram has been shown with a bow and arrow. It's not a question of violence. You are godly students. He is the father, and because you are students, he is Guru, all three. You have become his children. Therefore what? Follow Srimad and yes. Therefore, you should have so much happiness. Huh? You children know that it is now the kingdom of Ravan. Ravan is the greatest enemy of Bharat. Like Ravan is so smart. You know, what a good enemy will do is he will make you think he's your friend. He will bleed you from the inside. Ravan is very clever. The five vices disguise themselves as friends. So people today, they don't think, for example, anger is bad. They think it's only normal. It's human nature to be angry. There's those things which are bleeding the soul. People think they are normal and natural for human beings. That's what it means to be human. How clever the enemy is. He has camouflage. He disguises himself as a friend. He enters your camp and makes you fight with each other. He doesn't have to do anything because the humans are fighting each other. And so Ravan is winning. Then it takes God to come and tell us, don't fight each other. You have to fight against anger. You have to fight against the vices. So we realize, wow, we've got it wrong all these time. It's our war, as Baba sometimes says, we are at war. Our battle is with the vices, not with the humans or with anybody else. So he says Ravan is the greatest enemy of Bharat. You children receive this knowledge from the knowledgeful Father. He's the Father, the ocean of knowledge and the ocean of bliss. You clouds, you fill yourselves from the ocean of knowledge and you go and you shower knowledge on others. You are the Ganges of knowledge. This praise applies to you. However, no one can become pure by bathing in the water of the Ganges. They think they will become pure by bathing in dirty water. They give a lot of importance to spring water. All that is the path of bhakti. In the golden and silver ages, there is no bhakti. That is the completely viceless world. Baba says, children, I have now come to make you pure. Remember me for this one birth, become pure, and you will become Sato Pradhan. You know Pradhan, what it means? Ayasiyala, to be complete in something. So Sato Pradhan and Sato, there is a difference. I am the purifier. Increase your pilgrimage of remembrance as much as possible. You would not say Shiv Baba through your mouth. It should be just as lover and beloved remember each other. Once they have seen each other, that's it. Each one's intellect remembers the other. On the path of devotion, you receive visions of whomever you remember or whomever you worship. However, all of that is temporary. You have been coming down by doing devotion. Death is now standing ahead of you. Only after cries of distress will there then be cries of victory. Rivers of blood will flow in Bharat. It's a strong statement, but he's giving us the news. Just as to Brahma, he showed him destruction, then he showed him golden age. He says, look, I'm telling you, this is what's coming up. So now make your choice. So, why Brahma needed to see that? It helps to realize that that which is temporary will finish. And for us too, that sense of awareness that that which is temporary at some point is going to finish within my own self as well. Let me make the effort to let go of the old nature, the old thinking style, because it's going to be redundant. The old and the new, always to keep that contrast in front. Rivers of blood will flow in Bharat. All have now become Tamo Pradhan. Everyone has to become Sato Pradhan. However, only those who became deities a cycle ago will become this. They will come and claim their full inheritance from the Father. If you did less devotion, you would not take the full knowledge, and you will claim a status number-wise amongst the subjects. Those who are good effort makers follow Srimad at every step and claim a good status. You need also, what else do we need? Courage, make effort. You need also good manners. What does it mean, good manners? You have to imbibe divine virtues, which you will continue to have for 21 births. Everyone now has devilish traits because this world is impure. History and geography of the world has been explained to you children. At this time, Baba says, children, now make a lot of effort to have remembrance and you will become real gold. Satyug is the golden age, real gold. Then in the silver age, silver alloy is added and the degrees continue to decrease. Now, no degrees remain. Father comes when it reaches this condition. This too is fixed in the drama. You are actors. You know that we have come here to play our parts. If actors don't know the beginning, the middle, or the end of their drama, they are called senseless. The Unlimited Father says, everyone has become so senseless. I make you sensible and make you into diamonds. Then Ravan comes and makes you as worthless as shells. This old world is now to be destroyed. I take everyone home like swarms of mosquitoes. Your aim and objective is in front of you. Only when you become like them can you become the residents of heaven. You BKs are making this effort. However, because the intellects of human beings are Tamo Pradhan, they do not understand that all of you are Brahma Kumars and Kumaris, and that there must also definitely be Brahma, father of the people. Brahmins are the top knot. Then Brahmins become deities. They have removed the Brahmins and Shiva from the variety form image. Brahmins are now making Bharat into heaven. Cha, mite, second. Namaste. Yeah. And the essence for dharana, number one, you clouds must fill yourselves from the ocean of knowledge and then go shower knowledge. Increase your pilgrimage of remembrance as much as possible. Become real gold by having remembrance. Number two, follow Srimad, imbibe good manners and divine virtues. Follow Srimad, imbibe good manners and divine virtues. In order to go to the land of truth, become very true and honest. Blessing. May you wear the glasses of seeing specialities when coming into relationship and connection with each other, and so become a world transformer. While coming into relationship and connection with each other, see each one's specialities. Adopt the vision of only seeing specialities. Nowadays, the fashion and compulsion are of wearing glasses. So wear glasses that only see specialities. Let nothing else be visible. For example, when you wear red lensed glasses, even something green would then appear to be red. So with the glasses of seeing specialities, you will not see rubbish, but by seeing the lotus will become an instrument for the special task of world transformation. Seeing the lotus, he said. Yeah. I repeat the sentence. For instance, when you wear red lensed glasses, even something green would appear red. And so with the glasses of seeing specialities, you will not see any rubbish, but by seeing the lotus will become an instrument for the special task of world transformation. Slogan: constantly stay away from the dust of thinking of others and looking at others, and you will become a valuable and flawless diamond. So in Hindi, these words are Parchintan, Pardarshan. Paradosh, yeah. Of course, it means thinking negatively, thinking wastefully of others, seeing what is not divine in others. Because the rule, as you know, is whatever you see, whatever you think about, you become that. Right? So it's up to me that somebody may have virtues and vices. I mean, as we all do. But what I see is my choice. If I see the virtues, then I also begin to imbibe the virtues in others. And certainly it's true for Brahmins especially. Brahmins have lots and lots and lots of virtues. That's a good thing, whenever you meet any Brahmin, maybe first time you are somewhere, just to think, what has Baba seen in this soul? Why this soul is special? You can tell by the face, by the drishti, or just spending a few moments in that person's company. You begin to feel, this is the speciality of this soul. Next, let me also steal it. Become a thief of virtues. And through that, you imbibe virtues yourself. So the whole Brahmin family is like a big resource for us to learn a lot from each other. And Baba said once, remember, he said, even the last number soul in the rosary, Brahmin rosary, is more special than any other soul in the world. Even the last number. Something to learn from everyone. So, wonder. Okay, so I think we need to wrap up there as we are going to, what's the name of the place? We're going there for a program. So just have 1 minute silence, and then we wrap up.